Is my body working against me? Is it betraying me? No, that's not ultimately true. Is it giving me signals that I need to pay attention to? Yes. Is the approach that I used before working now in midlife? No. So, what else could be true? So kind of working your way through those things, helping to rewire and take a look at those underlying beliefs, those that internal dialogue that's constantly running. Is your internal dialogue mostly negative or is it mostly positive? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome to, gosh, we are on week 5 of the book club calls. We only have one more week left after this, guys. That's exciting. I definitely need to change gears and get back into my edits on the books, but I'm just kind of been letting it simmer and see what things come through. I've gotten a lot of really good suggestions, recommendations. This part left me kind of wanting a little bit more. This part really spoke to me. So, so good. And I'm so glad that I did this, that I didn't just write it and then, you know, put it through an editor who my editor is amazing. She had really good feedback, very detailed comments and everything that I'm almost overwhelmed by. I'm like, okay, we're gonna sit down and go through this one at a time. How do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Uh, but I'm glad that I did this to open it up to a wider audience before it actually goes to publication to get that, validation that this is something that's actually beneficial. It's something that is translating into what can be used by a woman who's sitting there going, I don't know what's going on with me, and no one knows how to help me, and I can't find the answers, and I'm looking online and so many contradictory things. Like, let's sit down and have a conversation about what's actually going on here. And having that talk with someone who is trained in this, I think is really important. I wish I had had that. So I became that person so I could do that for you guys. So here we are. All right. So I have some discussion talking points about the book from some feedback. So we'll start there and then we'll briefly go over. Today I was going to talk about finishing hard things. I'm definitely feeling that. Like we're at that point where, all right, it's good, and we just need to finish the edits and then just push go. Like go to Amazon and submit, and then let it go out into the world. And you're always wrestling with your limiting beliefs through every single stage. It's so normal. So if you are feeling like that, you felt like that, it's normal. It means you're human and it's okay. So just keep going. Tell that voice in your head, thank you. I know you're trying to keep me safe, but we're going to keep going because I have to do this. I've got to get this out into the world. And those people who love it will find it and it will help them. And those people who it's not for, they can say what they want to say. That's totally fine. And it doesn't have to be for them. This isn't, what you're doing is not for everyone. And that is okay, because if it is for everyone, then it's for no one. So always think about that one person who you're trying to help. And that one person, even if it's just who you were 2 years ago, go back and help that person. And it's amazing how many people out there need that. They need what you have to say. They need your feedback and your input and your wisdom that you've gained. So that is kind of where we're coming from here. All right, so we're getting through the book here, almost finished. And if you haven't had a chance to like really dive into the material, I have one person, she told me she's rereading each part twice. And I'm like, oh, bless you. But I think hopefully it's because she's getting a lot out of it and she's also really contributing, which I really appreciate. Because again, this is for, I mean, she's like my ideal person. Like I wrote this book for her. So I'm so happy to have her feedback. I wrote this book for you. I want your feedback. I want to know what's working, what's not, all that. I, so hopefully it is landing that way. And she says she's excited for the actual copy to come out. So everyone here in the book club, remember, you guys all get a signed copy. Those who are founders, you get one copy signed. Those who are super fans, you guys get two signed copies. And then um, everyone gets discounts to the launch party, which I'm figuring out. I'm almost contemplating having like a retreat for it. I kind of feel like that would be really fun. Like we'll do a virtual launch party and that will be easy. Everyone can come. But maybe like the full launch party, I don't know. I'm confident. We'll see. Either that or it'd be like, at St. Michelle or something like that. Rooftop garden vibe. That's kind of what I'm feeling. But, step one, finish edits. And step two, actually publish a book. Okay, so pillars. Um, Part of the book, we talk about the pillars of your health. I believe I have five total or six total. Probably throw in an extra one because I'm like, oh, that's important. Oh, that's important. So, but the last one talking about support and accountability. Why does this matter? Well, just think about how lonely it is when you're out there thinking that you are completely alone, that no one else understands what you're going through, and you don't talk about it. So, this is what I mean by accountability. I don't mean like you have to talk to your partner because very often your partner doesn't really get it. They don't live in your body, they don't know. But having another support network. So, when women come together, especially, I've noticed they bond with each other on a deeper level if they allow themselves to do that, and jealousy and pre-programming of like how we're supposed to compete with each other goes away because that's BS. But we bond with each other and start to relate with each other, have that understanding that we just don't necessarily have with like our male counterparts. They're just wired differently, and that's okay. But when women come together and share with each other and support each other, it is amazing. And you don't need like a big group of women, but having somebody that you can talk to. And that's why I love having actually, like, I'll have two friends that come in at the same time into my programs and they come together and they're like, we're doing this together, we're ready. And they have their own individual, time with me, of course, and their own treatment plans. They're going to be customized to them, but they're working with each other on a regular basis, having that support for each other, bouncing things back and forth. I'm struggling with this, so this is working for me. This isn't working for me, and just being able to have that conversation. So again, you don't feel so alone. So that's kind of where that support and accountability comes from. So I'm going to like rework that session, or that section there, and make sure that that's a little bit more clear about what I mean. Because the question was, is that really necessary? I didn't feel like that really landed. I really do think it is, though. And that can be, like I said, it can be a friend, it can be a spouse. They're all supportive in their own way, and then not so much in other ways. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. A coach is huge. I've had so many coaches throughout my life, and your provider can be your coach too. I kind of incorporate that into my style of being a clinician. Groups like this, other groups you can get involved with, and even just like journaling it out, being your own accountability buddy, but writing it down and journaling it out, looking at your limiting beliefs and going, is that ultimately true? No, like you can find examples where that's not ultimately true. And like, let's pick a different belief. Is my body working against me? Is it betraying me? No, that's not ultimately true. Is it giving me signals that I need to pay attention to? Yes. Is the approach that I used before working now in midlife? No. So, what else could be true? So, kind of working your way through those things, helping to rewire and take a look at those underlying beliefs, that internal dialogue that's constantly running. Is your internal dialogue mostly negative or is it mostly positive? You have control over that. Is it easy? No. Will it happen overnight? Absolutely not. It takes time and repetition, just like going to the gym and getting used to working out. Like anything, it takes time and repetition. We're going to talk about repetition. We're going to talk about consistency. So the next part they brought up was pushing harder. That mindset of like you got to just push through it. So several women in this phase of life are high performers. A lot of my patients, a lot of the women I talk to, they're athletes, they're in the healthcare profession, they are in, corporate, they are entrepreneurs, they have families. These women are high achievers. And then perimenopause hits. And it's like, oh, I still need to perform at this level, but I physically cannot. And it's not a mental thing at that point. There are mental things happening, but it's not a mind over matter at this point. And if you continue to push like that and push your body when it's telling you, hey, this is not working for us, you're going to break. And so many women do break. I've had it's called burnout. Like it's called burnout, it's called sickness and illness. We drive ourselves into this because if our body is whispering and we're not listening, it gets a little bit louder. Still not listening, gets louder. We're still not listening. The loudest yet is when we end up in the hospital. Right. So we need to stop, listen to our bodies, go, it's telling me something. This isn't normal for me. And I need to go see what's going on. And sometimes that journey can be very long. For a lot of women, it is very long. It can take years to find answers, especially in our standard Western medicine approach, in our standard care. It's not great. Getting in is hard enough because insurance-based practice, they book out like crazy because they have to in order to keep the doors open. And everybody wants to use their insurance, and you have every right to use your insurance. But this is part of why I run a cash-based practice. My doors are open. Like you can get in and see me. Um, Now I can't take care of everything, but I can definitely take care of this. And there's more and more of these cash-based practices popping up. And we are predicting that healthcare in general is going to start going in this direction because it gives the patient more freedom to see who they want to see, to get care with a provider, regardless of what insurance says you can or cannot have. And that is so empowering for the patient. And it gets them into that optimized wellness a lot faster as opposed to let's wait until you're super sick and then we're just managing the illness and we'll never get you back to health again in a lot of instances. So um, that pushing harder mentality through this time period is not helping. It's not helping. But we think that it's required. We think that you have to push really hard in order to get to that next level. And that if you let off the gas, and I've had this on myself, if I let off the gas, everything will fall apart. I have to keep going. Again, is that ultimately true? No, it's not. It's not. We have to change our mindset to think that what I'm doing is enough. This is enough. This is what is required. I'm doing what's required. This is enough for me right here, this phase in my life. And it's okay. I don't need to do more. And now, of course, being honest with yourself, because are you sitting on the couch all day? Are you sitting too much? A lot of us are. Are you slowing down? What are your steps? All these things. But at the same time, that doesn't mean going swinging way the other direction and trying to do all of these, hit classes and Orange Theory and CrossFit and like nothing, not that there's anything wrong with those classes, but we can overdo it for sure and tax the system that's already being taxed by going through perimenopause. We actually need to pull things back, do more slower movements, more just gentle walking, more yoga, more strength training. And that is what will actually continue to improve your body composition, your health, your recovery, just how you feel, as opposed to slamming yourself with a lot of cardio every day. So, kind of ask yourself, like, what feels uncomfortable about this? Why, if if hearing this kind of triggers you and you're like, oh, I can't do that, that's okay. That's okay for you to be there. Just acknowledge that and go, it's gotten me this far. My mentality has pushed me to a certain point. It served me. But then it gets to a place where it's no longer serving you. And it's when it's no longer serving you, then we let it go and say thank you. But now we're doing something else that's going to serve us better. Again, that takes practice, repetition, and really looking at yourself and your internal beliefs and uh, just reprogramming your mind there. One thing in the sleep chapter that I didn't really touch on that I'm going to incorporate is shift work and sleep. This one is huge. I've worked with several patients who are on shift. They work night shift, they work swings, and the impact, and sometimes the lasting impact on the disruption on their circadian rhythm is significant. They did, I think it was the nurses study actually. They looked at night shift workers, which, we need. We have to have frontline workers. We need night shift people. But over time, it really does take a toll on the body. They have higher risk of breast cancer in these women who are working night shift. Everything else equalized out. night shift was the one thing. So the disruption in your circadian rhythm is significant. When we have a proper sleep cycle, we're sleeping at night, awake during the day. Uh, it's our gut circadian rhythm is also a thing. It's our brain circadian rhythm. It's our detoxification and our recovery time that our brain has to have, our entire body has to have every single day, which is why we sleep. So, and some people really fight that. I don't know. As I get older, I'm like, yes, more sleep, thank you. I go to bed early. I don't care. Hashtag I don't care. But then I also I'm still getting up pretty early, but then I can let myself sleep, but I've set myself up in that type of a schedule because it was important to me. So you might be in a situation, I've been in these situations where you're working in a job and your schedule is what it is. I've got people who work out at the area, I have people who work at the hospital, they working 10, 12-hour days. Their schedule is what it is. And sometimes they have to get up like 3 a.m. Oh, brutal. So we just do our best to work around that. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit more about how to strategize around that, how to time your meals, how to time your exercise, and things of that nature to try and minimize the impact of that type of a schedule on you, and then encourage people, especially women who are in their 40s, to see if we can get a different schedule at this point. When we're younger, we're a little bit more resilient. We can withstand some more. When we get older, it's really takes more of a toll on your health than it may be worth it for you. So that's something to consider. So I'm gonna definitely put that in there. So thank you for calling that out, that I didn't really address that. Okay. Consistency. Let's talk about that. So someone commented, I get into a rhythm, miss one day, and I fall off the horse. I got I got notes. Okay. So we can do one of one. I have four things here. We can do one of four things. One, we can choose to shift our thinking and beliefs about this thing. So whenever we come up against something that's hard, that we don't want to do, that, like we're struggling to stick to and be consistent with, look at it and go, what about this is just not working for me? Because when we love doing something, it's easy. You're just getting a float. I want to do that. Or when it's just like regular routine and it's not a big deal. Things that are hard are typically things that we don't like to do, that feel like a time suck, that drain your emotional, physical, whatever energy and don't replenish you. And that can be very hard to do on a regular basis. That makes sense. That's why the best diet is the one you'll stick with. The best exercise is the one you'll actually do on a regular basis. And that's why having more manageable goals is the way to go. So let's talk about that. So we have our ideal week, our ideal day, and then our baseline. Our like this is bottom. Everything has gone to hell in a handbasket, and I'm just doing basic care for myself so I'm not so depleted that I can't function. So we have our sleep. That is first and foremost. If you are sacrificing your sleep, I don't care what else is going. Like I had someone who was like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to get up earlier in the morning and even though I'm not getting enough sleep, but I need to go to the gym." You're not actually helping yourself there. You're actually adding more stress to your body, and it's probably going to make you gain more belly fat because it's a stressor. It's not helping, especially if you do it fasted. For perimenopausal women, it's not a good idea. So sleep is number one. Number two is walking. And it doesn't have to be like I go for an hour or 5 mile walk every day. That's, for some people, that's great. And that's what they can do. And that is their baseline. So just think about what your baseline is and just try and like 5 more minutes. If even if all you do is get up from your desk and do some air squats and you drink some more water, you've won. You've won the day. So your criteria for what is enough needs to be adjusted. And that way, no day is ever, oh, I messed that up. I effed up. Now I have to start over. Oh God, it's so hard to start over. Like you can see where that's going. Just down the rabbit hole we go. Instead, we go, here's my ideal. If everything's going great, This is what my day looks like. Cool. Here's what my day looks like if something happens. If the car doesn't start and then I'm 30 minutes late. Ask me how I know. Uh, or, you know, the dog is hurt or the kid gets hurt or, you know, they call you and your kid is sick and you have to like leave work or something happens in the family. We're at that age, right? We are at that age. Like people are getting sick, like real sick, not just like, oh, it's a cold. Like, great. Now the C word came up. Or, you know, this grandma is finally on her deathbed and we have to go down and see her because this is it, you know, and heavy, heavy stuff. What do you do on those days? That's your baseline. Okay. Because you still have to come first in some way. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to, like, I'm not paying attention to anybody else. I'm going to the gym. No, that's not realistic. Okay. So the next thing is the next three things we'll talk about really quickly: eliminate it, delegate it, simplify it. So when we're talking about things that you hate doing, let's say something easy like laundry. Let's just say you hate doing laundry. You dread it every week. You're like, God, it never ends. It's just something that is so awful. Eliminating it, maybe not necessarily an option for you. Like, we can't just not do laundry unless you've got that kind of money. We just donate everything after we're done wearing it. I think Paris Hilton does that. Uh, we're not Paris Hilton, so you can delegate it. There are fluff and fold laundry services at laundromats, and they even do pickup services. So think of like, be open to creative possibilities. And if there's not one in your area, maybe that's a opportunity for business. Or simplify it. Make it super simple. Usually breaking up into smaller chunks helps instead of, although sometimes, so it kind of depends on like what works best for you. You might have to play around with this. Sometimes it's better to like sit down and do it all at once, or it's better to split it up into tiny little chunks because then it's more manageable. For example, my financial review. So I will sit down and sometimes it's been like a month and I really haven't, like, I'm looking at it, but I'm not looking at it like I want to look at it, like very detailed. And then it's been a month and I got to sit down and now it takes me like, you know, an hour longer to reconcile everything. Ew, that doesn't feel good. So guess what I do is kick it down, like, you know, kick the can down the road even further. Instead, if I break it into smaller chunks, if I look at it every day, 3.5 minutes. Oh, look at that. I can do 3.5 minutes. Come on, that's not that bad. And then I really feel like I'm on top of it and I feel better about that. So just think of different ways that you can figure out this consistency thing that you feel like you're struggling with. First of all, is it really struggling? Is your baseline too high? Set your baseline lower that's more achievable, because guess what? It is enough. And you will have days when you can do more, then you do more. There will be days when you can only do your baseline, and then you're good. Eliminate it if you can. Is this really something that needs to happen? My garden. I swear to God, guys. So I could, and I do so many times, like go crazy in the garden, have to play all this stuff. But then a couple years ago, when I was working full time still and running the business, my husband and I were planting the garden. I was like, we're putting in flowers. That's it. I am not growing any vegetables. I'm not doing any of this crap. So you just like, this year is not a thing. And there are going to be times when it's like, you know what? This just needs to be let go. And maybe I'll come back to it later. Maybe I won't. And that's okay too. But just getting rid of it. And then it's not even a problem. It's a non-thing. Delegating it and simplifying it. All right. So minimum day version of success: 5-minute walk, protein at breakfast, go to bed, and just do some stretching, like 3 minutes of stretching. And you've won. There you go. Good job. All right, guys. That is what I have. We talked about finishing hard things, common reasons why people don't finish big projects: burnout, distraction, losing excitement, self-limiting beliefs. Journal it out. That's a really good way to kind of get through it. And then sometimes it just does take that stop thinking about it. Like, I used to do this to myself when this was like back in high school, when I didn't want to get up and go to the gym before school, which was totally something that I could do at that time. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? if I think about it for too long, and Mel Robbins wrote a book about this called The 5 Second Habit, the 5 second rule, yeah. Anyways, um, or the 5 4 3 2 1. Yeah. So instead of like, you need to do something before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it, because it will, because it's like, this is really comfortable in bed. I don't want to get up. It's so warm here. Why would I want to do that? I don't need to go to the gym. I'm fine. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. Or I'll do it later today. You know you won't. Okay, girl, you're busy. It's not gonna happen. 5 4 3 2 1, up and go. You don't give yourself time to think about it. You set out your clothes the night before. You get your meals prepped ahead of time. You have your water ready to go. Then you just go. You don't think about it. So that's definitely a technique that works really, really well. But again, also, we're in the phase of listening to your body. So acknowledging that too. If you are exhausted, like physically exhausted, and everything in your body is saying, you need more rest, take the rest. Take the freaking rest. And also, don't counter that with thoughts of, I'm being lazy, I'm not doing enough. No, let that go. All right. Imperfect completion beats perfect delay. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one. We're going to put that up on the wall. So I want you guys to think about, what projects have you started but not finished? Let's go through our checklist. Okay. Do we need to change our mindset about that? Do we need to eliminate it, delegate it, or simplify it? And then what helps you to stay consistent? And if you're not consistent, brainstorm ways that you could be consistent. It's different for everybody. So take that into account, and you will definitely see some improvements there. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I got to wrap up because we got busy day in clinic today, but it was so great to connect with everybody. We have one more week left. I'm so excited. So hopefully I'll have more details about the book launch party. The virtual one is going to be pretty straightforward. The in-person one, TBD. And when they will actually be, also TBD. Because the goal with the book launch party is to be able to actually give you your book, sign it there for you, and have a nice little party there. So I'm really excited. It'll be super fun and also really surreal, I gotta tell you. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Those of you who celebrate Easter, happy Easter. And there's tulip farms all over the place. If you go to Instagram, I posted a video. Thank you. I posted, or a video. I posted a thing about all the events that are going on around town, Middleton Farms. And then if you're over in Oregon, there's some events there. Tulips are everywhere, guys. So go look at the tulips and go be happy. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Bye.